She thought she was doing everything right. Every morning at 6 a.m., before the sun had a chance to kiss the earth, Margaret laced up her sneakers and walked, a quiet neighborhood loop. Just her, the birdsong, and the rhythm of her breath. She was 70. Widowed. Independent, and walking, they said, was the key to healthy aging, so she walked. Every single day, but slowly, things began to change. First, she noticed she couldn't open jars like she used to. Then the stairs began to feel steeper. She struggled to lift her carry-on bag, to stand up from the couch, to reach for the top shelf. One day, she tripped over her own foot in the garden. No major injury, just a scraped knee and shaken pride. But she sat on the porch afterward, breathing heavily, whispering to herself, "Why am I getting weaker, if I never stopped walking?" And that is where our story begins. Because what no one tells you is this: walking alone is a beautiful lie. It feels like enough, it looks like health, but underneath, the body is slowly, quietly changing. After 65, we don't just age, we lose muscle, we lose balance, we lose strength, not because we're lazy, but because walking doesn't work every part of us. Let's be clear. Walking is wonderful, it keeps your heart beating. It clears the mind. It connects you to nature, but it only moves you forward, and life requires so much more. Life asks you to bend, to lift, to twist, to stay upright when the floor shifts beneath you. Yet most seniors are never told this. They walk and believe they're safe, until one day, a fall, a fracture, a diagnosis, and the illusion crumbles. You see, aging isn't just about counting years, it's about understanding how your body changes, and how you must change your movement to match. Because the sad truth is, most people over 65 are walking straight into weakness, and they don't even know it. But what if I told you there's a better way? What if I told you that with just 5 specific kinds of exercises, you could not only stay strong and pain-free, but actually become more powerful with age? Yes, even after 70, even after 80, even after a lifetime of walking but not training. This is not about working out. It's about training for life. And Margaret, she didn't stop walking, but she started something new, something that brought her strength she hadn't felt in decades. Her story is your story waiting to happen. If walking is a path, then strength is the ground beneath it, and the truth is, after 65, that ground begins to shift, not overnight. Not with drama, but silently. Gradually. And dangerously. There's a word for it, a word most doctors don't say loud enough: sarcopenia, the natural, predictable, and devastating loss of muscle mass as we age. By the time you hit 70, you may have lost 30 to 40% of your muscle, not because you didn't try, but because you weren't told how to fight back. Let me tell you about George, a retired fireman. Tough as nails, at 74, he could still drive, cook, garden, but one day, trying to carry a bag of mulch into the backyard, he felt his legs buckle. He didn't fall. But something in him did. That night, he sat on the edge of his bed, and for the first time in his life, he felt afraid of his own body. What George didn't know was this: he had walked every day. He stayed active. But activity isn't the same as resistance, and without resistance, muscles wither, joints become unstable, pain creeps in, and confidence evaporates. But here's the miracle of the human body: even after 70, 80, 90, it can rebuild. You can regain strength, you can restore function, you can reclaim your life. All it takes is the right kind of resistance, done safely, consistently, and purposefully. So what does that look like? Not heavy barbells or sweaty gyms. It starts with your own body weight, sitting and standing from a chair without using your hands. Wall push-ups, gentle squats holding onto the kitchen counter. Then you add resistance bands, small, stretchy, and powerful. You strengthen the arms, the legs, the hips, the back, and if you're ready, light dumbbells, 2 to 5 pounds, can change everything. You see, resistance training isn't just about muscle, it's about meaning, because life will push against you, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And when you train your body to push back, you're really training your soul. To say, I may be aging, but I am not giving in. George began with 5 minutes a day, a few chair squats. Some band pulls. He kept a journal, not of weight, but of moments. Today I stood without pain, today I opened that jar, today I lifted my grandson without fear, and now, at 77, George is stronger than he was at 67, not because time stopped, but because he started resisting it, with purpose. So let me ask you this, when was the last time you truly challenged your muscles? When was the last time you reminded your body that it still matters? Because it does. You do. And resistance training, even just a few minutes a day, could be the most loving act you give to your future self. There's a moment in life that few people talk about, not dramatic. Not loud, just quiet, and terrifying. It's the moment when you hesitate to reach for something on a high shelf, not because you can't reach it, but because you're afraid. You might fall, it's subtle, it creeps in with age, like a shadow behind your steps, and that shadow is called instability. Over 65, one fall, just one, can change everything, your independence, your confidence, your identity, and yet. Here's the truth, most falls don't happen because of weakness, they happen because of lost balance. Balance is not just physical, it's deeply psychological, it's your brain and body rehearsing trust 1,000 times a day. And when that trust breaks, fear takes over. Let me tell you about Mrs. Elaine. She was 81. Lived alone. Independent. One day, while watering her plants, she slipped, just a few inches. She didn't break anything, but she didn't walk the same again. Why? Not because of the fall, but because of the fear it planted. She began holding furniture, avoided steps, stopped dancing, stopped reaching, and little by little, she stopped living. But balance, my friend, is not something you lose forever. It's a skill, one that can be rebuilt. And it starts with simple, powerful exercises. You don't need a gym, you need awareness, you need patience, you need 5 minutes a day to remind your body how to trust itself again. Here's where to begin. Tandem stand. Stand with one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe. Hold for 10 to 30 seconds. Switch. Feel your body adjust and respond. Single leg stand, hold on to a chair. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Close your eyes for a second, feel the challenge rise. That's your nervous system waking up. Heel to toe walk, take 10 slow, deliberate steps in a straight line. Focus. Breathe. You're not just walking, you're retraining your brain. Weight shifts, standing still, shift your weight slowly from one foot to the other. This small motion rebuilds core control, the hidden muscle of balance, and the most beautiful one of all. Tai Chi, yes. That gentle, flowing dance you've seen in parks, it's balance in motion, stillness in movement, and peace in every breath. Studies show it reduces falls by over 40% in seniors, not because it's magical, but because it's mindful. You see, balance is a metaphor for aging. We're not just walking forward, we're navigating memories, regrets, joys, and grief, and sometimes, life feels like a tightrope, one foot in the past, one foot in the unknown. But when you train for balance, you're really training your soul to say, I am still here. And I choose to stand tall. Elaine started practicing again, 1 week. Then 2. Then a month. She didn't go back to who she was. She became someone braver. Now, she still waters her plants, but she also joined a Tai Chi group, and every Thursday morning, she dances again, on her own terms. Balance isn't a gift for the young, it's a skill for the wise, and every step you take toward it, is a step back into freedom. But strength and balance alone aren't enough, because the one thing most seniors neglect, is the very engine behind movement, health, and life itself. We often think the body stiffens because of age, that tight muscles, aching joints, and shrinking posture, are simply part of getting older. But that's not the whole truth. The body doesn't just age, it remembers. Every heartbreak, every loss, every unspoken word, stored. In your shoulders, hips, back, and breath, flexibility isn't just about how far you can reach, it's about what you're ready to release. You see, stiffness is not just physical, it's emotional. When we hold in pain, fear, disappointment, the body closes in, we curl forward. We tighten up, we shrink from the world, and over time, that internal contraction becomes our permanent posture. But here's the good news. Just as the mind can heal from trauma, the body can release what it has held for decades, and the key is stretching, not as punishment, but as prayer, not as routine, but as ritual. Let me guide you through a few sacred movements, simple, gentle stretches that speak to your inner self. Seated neck rolls, release tension stored from too many worries, too many yes when you wanted to say no. Shoulder blade squeeze, undo the decades of slouching, of trying to appear small when you were always meant to stand proud. Cat-cow stretch, on chair or floor, feel your spine wake up. This isn't just movement, it's remembrance. The back is where we carry burdens. Seated forward fold, let gravity hold you. Surrender. Stretch the hamstrings, where we store control and resistance. Hip openers, like butterfly pose, your hips are vaults. They carry years of uncried tears and steps not taken. Open them slowly. And feel the release. Why do yogis and monks stretch every morning, even at age 90? Because they know something Western science only recently confirmed: flexibility is youth, not just in muscle, but in attitude, in breath, in how we move through the world. I remember a man named Mr. Thomas. He was 78, a former soldier, tough, stoic. Never complained, until one day, his granddaughter asked, "Grandpa, why don't you sit on the floor with me?" He paused, looked down at his legs, and whispered something that broke my heart, "Because I don't know how to get back up." That day, Mr. Thomas began a journey, not of muscle, but of mobility. He started stretching every morning. Just 10 minutes, slowly, gently, faithfully, and within 3 months, he not only sat on the floor with his granddaughter, he played dolls with her. Cross-legged. Laughing. That's not just flexibility, that's freedom. In old age, what limits us most is not tight muscles, it's the belief that we can't change, but every stretch is a rebellion against that belief. It says, I am not done. I am still capable of opening. I am still learning to let go. So stretch, not to impress, but to express your willingness to meet life again, with openness. With softness, with grace. There's a silent hero in your body, a group of muscles that don't get praised like your arms or legs, but they decide how you rise, how you move, and even whether you fall. This is your core, and if you're over 65 and not training it, you're ignoring the very center of your strength, and your freedom. We've been fooled again. Most people think the core is just about abs, those six-pack muscles that magazines worship, but real core strength, it's much deeper, more sacred, more essential to daily survival. Your core is your stabilizer, your axis, your root. It holds your spine upright, it supports every twist, turn, lift, and step. It's not vanity, it's vitality. When your core weakens, you may not notice at first, but slowly, you struggle to get out of bed, you grunt when you stand from a chair, you hold on to railings, not for comfort, but for survival, and worse, your risk of falling skyrockets. And at our age, a single fall can steal your independence forever. But here's the truth no one told you: it's never too late to rebuild your core, and you don't need a gym, you need intention. You need consistency, you need the right movements, done with love, not ego. Here are 5 gentle yet powerful core exercises designed specifically for seniors. Seated knee lifts, sit tall. Breathe. Lift one knee at a time. Simple. Effective. Builds deep abdominal engagement, pelvic tilts on the bed, lie flat, knees bent. Rock your hips slowly. This tiny motion awakens the very foundation of your core. Bird dog, on all fours or with chair, opposite arm and leg reach out. Control is everything. This builds coordination, stability, and balance, all in one, wall plank, on forearms or hands, stand. Lean against the wall. Hold. Feel your belly work to keep you aligned. A few seconds a day can transform you. Toe taps, lying down, tap one foot to the floor while lying. It looks small, but it wakes up deep core muscles often neglected for decades. I once met a woman named Elaine. She was 72, a retired pianist. Her fingers were still fast, but her body was fading. She told me, "Doctor, I just don't feel strong anymore. Not in my arms, not in my legs. I feel like I'm collapsing inward." And she was right. Her posture curled forward, her breath was shallow, her spirit dimmed. We didn't start with weights or cardio, we started with her core, just 10 minutes a day, slow movements, steady breath, and something magical happened. After 6 weeks, she stood taller, her breathing deepened. Her laughter came easier, and she whispered, "I feel centered again." You see, the core isn't just about balance or posture, it's about power, not power over others, but power over your own life. In Eastern traditions, the core is called the hara, your energetic center, the place of will, of presence, of quiet authority. When your core is weak, you live at the mercy of gravity, but when it's strong, you become grounded, unshakable, alive. Your heart is a drum, it beats, day and night, without applause, without rest. But here's the irony of aging, just when your heart needs movement the most, your joints begin to protest. Walking, once the great universal exercise, starts to fall short, and your knees, hips, and ankles whisper warnings, with every step, no more. So what do? Do we surrender to the couch? Do we let our cardiovascular system fade, just because our knees beg for mercy? No, we adapt, we evolve, and we discover the forgotten world of low-impact cardio, the beautiful middle ground, where movement meets mercy, and sweat doesn't have to equal suffering. Let me be clear, cardiovascular exercise is not optional after 65. It fuels your brain, keeps your arteries clean, stabilizes blood sugar, regulates your mood, and strengthens the most vital muscle in your body, your heart. But cardio doesn't have to mean pounding pavement, or surviving on a treadmill like a hamster. There are ways to move your heart, without breaking your body. Let's look at 5 joint-friendly cardio exercises that reignite your energy, gently, powerfully, joyfully. 1. Chair aerobics, dancing while sitting, yes, seated, but don't let the chair fool you. With music, light hand weights, and rhythm, you can get your heart rate up, while staying safe, supported, and pain-free. It's like a symphony for your circulation. Perfect for days when your legs feel fragile, but your spirit wants to move. 2. Water aerobics, where buoyancy heals. Water is a miracle. In it, we're weightless, the pressure on your joints nearly gone, but your muscles still work, your heart still pumps, and your body feels reborn. In the pool, 80 feels like 40, aging disappears, at least for a little while. 3. Mini trampoline, rebounder, gentle bounces, big gains. This isn't child's play, it's science. Bouncing lightly on a rebounder stimulates lymphatic flow, improves circulation, and builds balance and endurance, without pounding your joints. Start slow. Even 5 minutes a day can change how you feel. 4. Recumbent bike, pedaling without pressure. If walking hurts but you miss the motion, the recumbent bike is your best friend. You sit back, supported, your knees move smoothly, your heart gets the rhythm it craves, and best of all, you can go as slow or fast as you feel. No hills, no stress, just gentle, focused cardio. 5. Tai Chi, the cardio of stillness. Strange, isn't it, that something so slow could strengthen the heart? But that's the paradox of Tai Chi. It improves circulation, improves breath, improves flow, and the slow, mindful movement is a form of cardio that doesn't hurt, because it's in harmony with how your body was designed to move. It's not just exercise, it's meditation in motion. I once had a patient, Mr. Kim, 78 years old, former mailman, walked for decades, but now his knees couldn't take it, and depression started creeping in. He said, "Doc, if I can't move, what am I?" I introduced him to chair aerobics, then to water classes, and finally, Tai Chi in the park. He laughed the first time, then he cried the third. "I'm not broken," he whispered one day, "I just needed a new way to move." Movement is not just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. When you move your body, you move your blood. When you move your blood, you move your life. And when you move your life, you feel alive again. So now we've stretched your limbs, strengthened your core, and awakened your heart. But there's one final lesson, because knowledge is nothing if it doesn't turn into daily action. Aging, it's often painted as a path of loss, limitation, and fading light. But what if it's a map, a new kind of map, one not marked by the shadows of regret, but by the bright trails of rediscovered strength? You see, most of us were handed an outdated script: get old, slow down, accept decline. But this script, it's not the truth, it's just a story we were told, not the story we have to live. Because the truth is this: your 65 years are not a downhill slide, they're a mountain climb, steep, yes, but alive with vistas you never imagined. I remember meeting Mr. Alvarez, age 70, a retired teacher, full of wisdom but weighed down by pain and fear. He confessed, "Doctor, I'm scared. I see my friends fade away, lose themselves in sickness, and I don't want that to be me." Together, we built a new map for him, a map that included strength training, balance exercises, core work, and low-impact cardio. But more than that, we added intention, daily rituals, and most importantly, hope. 6 months later, he returned with a smile I'll never forget. "Doc," he said, "I feel like I'm 50 again. Not because I'm younger, but because I'm stronger, braver, and more alive." Strength after 65 isn't just muscle, it's the courage to rewrite your story. It's the grace to stand tall, to walk without fear, to move without pain. It's waking up each day and saying, "Today, I will live fully." Remember these 5 pillars we've uncovered. 1. Don't rely on walking alone, diversify your movement. 2. Build balance to walk confidently between fear and freedom. 3. Stretch to release tension the body clings to. 4. Strengthen your core, your hidden power source. 5. Choose cardio that moves your heart, not just your feet. Combine these, and you forge a body, and life, that defies limits. But strength is only part of the story. The deepest strength is found in mindset, in loving yourself enough to move, to fight, and to cherish the years ahead. If you can embrace this mindset, no pain will hold you back, no fear will chain your spirit. This is your new map, not of decline, but of renaissance, a life without regret, full of strength and endless possibility. The journey of aging is no longer a march toward an end, it's a dance, bold, vibrant, and profoundly beautiful. Your best days are still ahead.